Live from Shanksville, WTAJ News presents Remembering 9/11.
I'm on a plane that's been hijacked. Please tell my children that I love them very much. I hope to be able to see your face again, baby.
18 years ago today, September 11th, 2001, terrorists hijacked United Flight 93, one of 4 planes taken over that day. Flight 93 was supposed to attack our nation's capital.
And it's because of 40 brave passengers that it didn't. These everyday heroes took control and fought back. They would crash into a field in Shanksville, Somerset County.
In an instant, the site became a memorial, a sign of their sacrifice, and it is with that in mind we join you from the Flight 93 Memorial this morning, September 11th, 2019, here in Shanksville, Somerset County. I'm Casey Kantz.
And I'm Maggie Smolka. Now, there's no doubt that today will be a day that America never forgets. 18 years ago, terror struck our country, and that's why this morning we are going to have continuing coverage with our reporters all across Pennsylvania. We're also going to remember the victims in New York City.
That is right. We are here at the Flight 93 Memorial in Shanksville, and more specifically, if you look behind us, Maggie, that is the Tower of Voices honoring the 40 passengers and crew members on board Flight 93 that day 18 years ago today. You remember where you were, of course.
I think everybody does. You know, it was a very memorable day. I was living in San Francisco at the time. I was in 3rd grade. It was kind of a unique situation because, of course, we are 3 hours behind schedule. So it was around, 5:45 in the morning. I remember my mom watching the news and terror just struck her face.
Yeah.
And then we got the phone calls from the school, and they advised, not to send the children to school because they were worried then that, the Golden Gate Bridge might be under attack.
You mentioned that, and as we've been talking this morning, as we recall all those years ago, when I'm watching on TV, I'm in 11th grade at that point, Mr. Menno's speech communications class, and I'm seeing the first plane go in. Well, at that point, actually, the plane had already gone in, but I'm seeing the second plane go into the second tower. And at that point, as you're hearing the commentating on TV and even some of the discussions in the classroom, it started to become evident what was happening. Terrorism was, of course, on the minds of everybody at that point. You mentioned the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
There were places all across the country, sites all across the country. Is it going to be next? Is it going to be next? And that really brings in the significance here of Shanksville and Flight 93 because we know where that plane was heading.
Yes, I know. A small town in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Hard to believe that it's now at the eye of a national terror.
Yeah, you're exactly
and
right.
It's really just a day of remembrance today. I want to show you this picture right here. This is a really powerful image right now. This is Dave Camisa. He lives in Huntington County now, or Bozonia to be exact, but he lived in New York City for 50 years. He was part of the NYPD Auxiliary Program, which meant he volunteered to patrol the city. He even eventually worked his way up to lieutenant. And on September 11th, 2001, he was working on Wall Street. When people came in screaming and crying that a plane hit one of the trade centers, he went rushing to the scene and quickly realized that this wasn't an accident, but an act of terror. And when you think of New York City, you think of Times Square, a vibrant city, people moving about. And you see this photo, and it depicts the complete opposite.
It has like you go into one of those backlot studio tours where they set up the disaster with the flamethrowers and everything, and it had that feeling. It was like, oh, I'm on a studio tour. Didn't have the 100% effect of this is real until some of the pieces started falling into place.
Yeah, and that photo really doesn't look real, and surreal is really the word for it there. You can catch Dave's full story. He has an incredible story to tell in our special report coming up this morning at 9:30.
What an image that is. Dave's certainly one of the many heroes of that day, no
Absolutely.
question about it. You think about this day, back in 2001, there were kids that are in school now that were not even born.
Hard to believe.
They're in their history classes nowadays in school learning about September 11th, 2001. And when we say never forget, we use the hashtag. We'll be using the hashtag throughout the day on social media, and we say it in conversation. This is what it means to never forget this day 18 years ago. And Morgan Koziar talked with a local teacher about how she teaches her students to never forget September 11th, 2001. Morgan's with us live this morning with more on that.
On a day like today, 9/11, many Americans take time to reflect on the events that happened that day. And for now, many years have passed since then, but younger generations, all they have to go off of the events are through textbooks and through the eyes of older Americans. Now, I caught up with one local teacher who's bringing her life experiences to the classroom.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
The series of attacks on September 11th served as a wake-up call for all of America.
The #1 goal at all times was to take down what happened to us and to make sure those that did this to our country paid.
Now, 18 years later, many Americans are taking time to reflect on one of the darkest days in history.
Like, that day changed everything. We were all glued to the television that day. We were all trying to figure out what we should do. No one really left the room. No one really moved.
Many Americans, including our younger generations.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to class today.
Elizabeth Bronson is an 8th grade American cultures teacher at the Altoona Area Junior High School.
All right, today we're going to begin our discussion of 9/11.
Taking time to share her memories of that horrific day.
It's definitely one of those days that you will remember exactly where you were, exactly what you were doing, and exactly what happened, minute by minute.
She's now incorporating her life experience into the classroom, educating a generation of students that weren't even alive then.
There are things that are in place right now that you don't even realize are in place because of September 11th. It's just part of your life. These kids weren't born. They have no recollection of it, and as people that lived through it, I think it's important that they understand how this has impacted their lives.
Elizabeth says while the nation felt defeated at the time, it created a moment for Americans to come together in unity.
It made you feel proud to be an American. It made you feel like you were a part of everything that happened. Like you were just so close to everything.
And for Miss Bronson's class, it's something that may seem far away, but it's her job to bring them closer. And Miss Bronson says she'll be talking about the events of 9/11 throughout the rest of the week, hoping that her students take time to reflect on the day that shaped America into the nation it is today. Maggie and KC, back to you.
And thank you, Morgan. Appreciate that. You heard former President George W. Bush speaking from Ground Zero on that day. That was one of the moments to me that really stood out that I remember about that day. As I've heard the stories in the years since, there was a certain organic moment when former President Bush grabbed that microphone that day and spoke to all the first responders that were out there looking for victims and cleaning up. And I don't know if many people know it out there, but the former President Bush ended up saying that moment actually just kind of happened. There was a first responder that said something effective, "We can't hear you, Mr. President." Wow. And he, right on cue, goes, "Well, we can hear you loud and clear." And it was just, it really touched, just that moment really stood out to me that day. Just an incredible moment, really very organic.
I think that's what makes those moments so powerful, though. Yeah. It's that raw emotion.
Certainly.
And you talk to people who experienced 9/11, and that's what they were saying. It was raw emotion. You know, people were coming together. People were uniting in America because of what had happened. Yeah. And really today, all about honoring that. There are going to be events taking place all over, including New York City. You know, we talk a lot about Shanksville, but we also want to mention the events taking place in New York City today. Around 8:46 a.m., the time at which the attack on the World Trade Center began, the relatives of those who died will come together as the names of their loved ones are read. And later in the evening, 2 beams of light will take over New York's skyline, and they're a reminder of what the city looked like when the Twin Towers were still standing.
At the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, Maggie, also President Trump will attend a memorial there. In the afternoon, we just mentioned former President George W. Bush, who of course was president on September 11th, 2001, will participate in a wreath-laying ceremony there.
And then, of course, here in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, we are going to be joined by Vice President Mike Pence. He's going to be speaking at the ceremony that starts roughly around 9:45 this morning.
Yep, the Vice President's going to fly into Johnstown's Army National Guard Air Support Facility. Our David Kaplan live there for us this morning, awaiting the Vice President's visit later this morning. David?
Vice President Mike Pence will be speaking at today's 9/11 memorial service in Shanksville this morning. Here's the timeline for today's events. The Flight 93 National Memorial will open up at 6 this morning. Air Force Two is expected to land at the Armed Forces facility in Johnstown at 8:15. The 18th anniversary observance will start at 9:45. The River City Brass Band from Pittsburgh will open things up. Then several speakers will take the podium before David Bernhardt, Secretary of the Interior, and finally Vice President Pence close the morning. The Vice President will be closing the morning, and he was in Johnstown at the airport 2 years ago and was speaking at the event 2 years ago also, and he was last in Pennsylvania August 1st. So you want to stay with us at 6:30 as we'll give you a little bit about the trivia of Air Force Two. In Johnstown, David Kaplan, WTAJ News.
David, thank you for that. Again, that memorial going to begin here just before 10 o'clock this morning. And we, of course, will cover it for you live here on WTAJ.
Yes, that ceremony going to be at 9:45 this morning. That service, including Vice President Pence's speech, we're also going to have full coverage at our website, wearecentralpa.com. Just click Remembering 9/11 under the News tab.